Hey, how y'all doing, my friends? And welcome to a spanking new episode of Friday Night 80's. Of course, I'm your host once again. I know so many people just saw me a little while ago. I just finished talking about my favorite movie of the fucking year, uh, The Raid Redemption. Oh my god, you forgot the movie already? Well, I didn't forget it. It's just that yes, I shaved my head. Yeah. Said fuck it. I got tired of looking at my bald spots. I fuck too. That's it. Okay. Now, this is a movie I don't remember why I found it, to be honest. I think I was looking through some trailers or something on YouTube, or at something. I was looking at a list or something or whatever, and I stumbled on across it. I don't know why or how. I remember Mike, I think at one point was talking about this film. I don't know if he got it on VHS tape or he was curious about it and stuff. And it's on YouTube. By the way, that movie is 1986 movie, low budget movie, The Zero Boys. Now, it's part of a genre of movie that came out in the 80's that involves paintballing, right? In which situation where you got paintballing going on and the person who's the paintballer ends up in a real scenario. Now, the movie that did this better, that came before this, I guess, was this movie with Anthony Edwards and Linda Ferrantino called Got You. But that's miles better than this movie. And of course, that has more brains to it. This doesn't. Plus the lead guy is Anthony Edwards. He was great. Then you had this film. I think there's another one called Master Blaster. That's one. And also, if I'm not mistaken, there was one that came out, I guess, sometime last year or maybe 2010. It's a movie called Paintball, which that one has similar thing like this, where you have paintballers in the woods and they're being hunted by a real killer and stuff. Almost similar to this movie and everything like that. Okay, the movie is directed and written by Nico Mastorakis, who I think this guy is a famous B-movie guy. I mean, I never heard of him, but I heard he's got a cult following. He's from Greece. He's the director of such films as Island of Death, Blind Date. No, not the one with Bruce Willis. A movie called Blind Date in 1984. The next one is another movie called Sky High. And of course, Zero Boys. A movie called Terminal Exposure, The Wind, Death Street, USA. I remember Ninja Academy. I think that was a comedy. And there's another one called Glitch. That's another comedy. Then I guess In the Cold of Night, stuff. I mean, I haven't seen those in years, Ninja Academy and Glitch. I know it's probably like a really silly made-to-video movies or whatever. Like this movie is made to videos. I don't think this went to theaters. Nothing like that. And there's gonna be spoilers in this, and you'll find out why. Maybe if the title don't give it away. I hated this fucking movie, so sit back on Friday night, folks, to start out Friday Night 80's, the first Friday Night 80's, with a rant. Yes, that's right. This is getting a rant. On Friday Night 80's, yes, I'll be yelling on Friday night. But it's not that late, though. I saw this early. It's only 8:45, so usually I do these videos later, so it's probably be a 1, 2, 3 thing. Okay, as the movie goes, you have this group of guys, right? Known as the Zero Boys. You have the characters' names are Steve, played by Daniel Hirsch. You have Larry, played by Tom Shell. And you got Rip, played by Jared Moses. Right? It opens up where you see him in the middle of this paintball game, which is not in the woods, ironically. It's just in a little abandoned town. Which, if they're trying to put it like in a way that this is a real battle or real war, they failed. So you see these three guys. I know Jared Moses' character, Rip. He's sort of the clown of the bunch a bit, but he's not that funny, though. He's got this thing. He's got this big gray hair on this one side of the head. I don't know why. I'm like, will you color that shit, please? It's just distracting. It's like Christian Bale. It's distracting the scene. Color that fucking hair. Want me to rip out your hair? Yeah, fucking Christian Bale is bullshit. So when they go in, I know there's one little wink right there. Like one of the guys, right before they're in this room getting their pink guns ready to come out to fuck up the other team or whatever, they have a little picture of Rambo and the guy goes, "Sly, eat your heart out." No, Sly should eat their hearts for doing this movie. And they go and they win the game and everything like that. And they got the girlfriends watching. At least the two guys, Larry and Rip. And like that. And Steve, the lead guy, Daniel Hirsch, he makes a bet with the other team member, the opposite team that lost, this guy named Casey, that if he lost, he had to announce that the Zero Boys are the best, and everything like that. And also, he made a bet. He bet his girlfriend to, if he lost, that he would have to go. His girlfriend would have to go with Steve for the cabin for the weekend, not to do any funny business with it, just to go up there. His girlfriend is Kelly Maroney, who a lot of people remember her from Night of the Comet. I always remember her for Chopping Mall. I mean, that's every time I see her, I think Chopping Mall. I'm sorry, I don't think of Night of the Comet, to be honest. Nothing against the film. One day I'm gonna review Night of the Comet. That's all. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So it'll be an interesting review. But one day I'm gonna get to that though. I will say Night of the Comet, though it has its problems, is better than this movie. But let me get to the parts here. So Kelly Maroney smacks the shit out of her boyfriend, her character Jamie, and right off the bat, the guys don't seem that likable, really. The Zero Boys. That's her mom's dog howling for no reason, and he's about to get smacked for howling. There you go. But see, he doesn't even like the idea of this movie as well. He's howling. They're not that likable. The lead guy has sort of a chip on his shoulder, like a little attitude and stuff. Well, look, babe, you don't have to go with me if you don't want to. You know, stuff like that. So she goes, well, you don't tell me what to do. I go with you if I want to go. So that goes on for a little bit there. Then they go, you get a montage. They're going up to the woods and stuff like that. Until, while they're hanging out in the woods drinking beer, I guess the lead guy tries a little moment with Kelly Maroney. You know, he said, look, I don't mean to come out like an asshole and like that. You know, this wasn't my idea. Your boyfriend Casey came up with this. And she goes, well, look, I got a PhD. I got all this stuff. And then she smiled. I like the way she said it, though. She smiled. She goes, and I also fuck on the first date. So she stole a line from April Fool's Day. But nothing against Kelly Maroney. I mean, that's a good thing of a woman to say. I fuck on the first date. Like, hey, hey, hey. But, you know, it doesn't seem natural coming out of Kelly Maroney. I don't know why. So, they're driving in the woods until Kelly Maroney spots a woman running through the woods. And she tells the lead guy, look, there's some woman in the woods there. She's running, she's screaming. So, the two of them walk out to the woods to look. On one of the leaves, on the branches, they find blood there. The lead guy says maybe it's a deer or whatever. It's okay. So they find this cabin right there. Lead guy doesn't want to go there, Steve. He said, look, it's trespassing. What, you chicken shit? You? So they go in there and stuff, look around and everything like that. And the other guy with the gray spatch, Rip, they surprise him with a birthday cake or whatever. Until they realize, we see basically a shadow of a killer. It's basically just two killers, at least from what we think. Two killers. One really tall, goofy-looking guy. And the other one, the short guy, is actually, drumroll, Joe Estevez. That's right. Little brother of Martin Sheen and I believe the uncle of Emilio Estevez. At times kind of looks like Emilio Estevez. So basically long story short, they go, the movie has no gore, no nudity, really not any practical effects at all. Until one thing leads to another, they end up trapped in the house. And they're like that, they discover a noise in the barn and everything like that. Make it to the barn. You see the killer from the back. He has a big fucking knife, which we never see him use at all. Pulls up behind him. They turn around. He disappears and shit. Make it back there. And like I try to use the phone. The storm for some reason fucked up the car and the phone. And they're in the house. This movie's leaving my brain. I'm forgetting it already. Really. This movie's supposed to have a cult status. The movie's got 3.3 on IMDb. It deserves that mark, to be honest. So then what happens is, because it turns out these Zero Boys, they're paintballers. We realize they got the nickname because they always lost in paintballing. Until, you know, one day they actually won a couple of games. But they kept the name as a good omen, the Zero Boys. And stuff. But you look at these three guys, for some reason you don't buy it. Like if you were to do this movie today, you would get guys that you pretty much wouldn't believe were winners. I mean, they had the skill, but for one reason or another they've lost and stuff, which I'm gonna get to in a minute. This movie just lends itself to a fucking remake if you give it to the right guy to do it and the right cast and stuff. For some reason, I would love to see what Mark Navardine could do this. I know the guys are doing their separate projects now. I know Brian Taylor is doing Twisted Metal movie he wants to work on. I mean, I see one of them do something like this or whatever. Make it miles better than what the fuck we got. I know it got to be better than the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. But anyway, all that happens there. We realize that the Zero Boys, for some reason or another, when they bring their gear into the house, it starts raining to the cabin, right? They have Uzis on them and real ammo. And then Kelly Maroney, I said, what are you guys doing with all these guns? Oh, when we practice talking, we practice with real guns. Which you don't believe that, really? When you want to practice with paintballs? So they make it back into the barn. They hear a scream until one of them, because Kelly Maroney's character is left behind in the house there with the two other girls, while three guys go in, and they go in there only to find that there was like a chair there and a little camera there, and they find a video of one of the girls we find out was abducted by them with a bag over her face, suffocating. So these guys have Uzis, and for some reason or another, they decide to use up all the ammo, or at least the ammo they got, to fuck up the room with the chair and the two-way glass and the camera. Made me feel like Ron Perlman in Alien Resurrection. He wasted all the ammo, man! Must be a bitch thing. So these guys are bitches. So then, another shit. The movie's leaving my brain. I just finished watching this movie. The Raid is more stuck in my head than this movie, really. God. So, of course, they make it back into the house. They put a trunk against the door of the girls. And what happens is the trunk is kind of heavy. Kelly Maroney tells the girl to cast on her phone, why don't you open up the case? Open it up. Why should I open it? Oh, maybe a killer's gonna jump out. Once again, I see like Kelly Maroney's character is kind of ignorant. Or just very stupid writing. She opens it up, she finds the dead body of the girl that they heard in the woods, pretty much. So then, captures that. The phone rings. Joe Esther's voice. Ha. Yeah. You guys, you want a real war? Death comes for you, boy. Really over, trying to be like the redneck in the woods type of shit. But I've seen it done way better in other films. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 did it better. Hell, the first Wrong Turn did it miles better. In my humble opinion, you got killers in the woods and shit. Even Avenging Force, for fuck's sake, even though that's not this type of genre, but still, people in the woods killing other people. There you go. I've seen it done miles better. Oh hell, Hills of Ides, the 2006 one, Matt in it. That's done miles better. Matt should know, he was in the movie and he saw it too. I know I overdo it. I'm sorry, but nah, it's just a. Okay, they go in. The Zero Boys do really nothing. They find dynamite. They get in the car. All of a sudden, now the car is working and stop raining. They make it outside. They drive off. They take dynamite. They throw it into some other car. Blows up. Then the rip guy, he's like this back, going, yay! Arrow, because the killer has a crossbow. Shoots him to his back. Falls back. Not gory, nothing. Just he dies. They walk off into the woods. Kelly Maroney does something very stupid. Oh, go along. I'll catch up. I'm like, didn't the lead guy tell you, Kelly Maroney, to stay with the group? So she's tired of fucking shoelaces long enough for Joe Estevez to come in. Hey, because she's not hiding behind tall grass. Now, if this was done by an intimidating presence of an actor, then you could pull it off. Like if it was, I don't know if I could pull names out of my head, like C.J. Graham or Chris Durad, uh, even Ken Kersinger, Derek Mears. If it was somebody with an intimidating presence, or Kane Hodder, for fuck's sake, something like that, then you buy it. No, but somebody, he's not an intimidating presence. Somebody may argue, but if you like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, I mean, Alfredo, that guy, I was looking at, but he's one guy though. The main guy is R.A. Mahalka, Moneyhoff. I can't never get his last name right. Fuck, he has an unpronounceable last name, like my last name. But I can pronounce it though. Catavamo. See, I said it. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Now you heard my last name. Ha ha. It's a long one, isn't it? But oh god. So yeah, I'm an Italian Rican. That's right. It's his last name. But I know Spanish. But anyway. Whew. So then she gets away and stuff, like catches up with the guys until one of the girls almost falls into this trap full of spikes, but she doesn't get killed. She barely hangs on there. Decent suspense moment, but it'd be good if you actually liked the characters more, where you had the lead guy hand around a tree, and he's grabbing Kelly Maroney's leg to make a human rope like that to grab the girl, and then one of the killers spots it and starts firing crossbow arrows, missing the lead guy's hand, and stuff like that. And then you got the girl with the fucking cast who can't hold the gun to save her life. What do I do with this? Shoot! And the guy comes up. And this is not Joe Stern, this is another guy. And then she shoots. No blood squibs. Then he falls into the pit. But he's still hanging on a bit. Then he tries to grab the girl who's almost, they're trying to get out of the spikes, until the girl with the cast, who they had prisoner at one point, which you thought she should have been dead pretty much because her face was covered in plastic, and they dropped her down from the roof of the house. They put a rope on her and they hung her down, kind of like that movie The Principal, but that's done way better. She hangs down in a body bag, and they get her out, and the guy goes, she's dead. Then all of a sudden she just goes, ah! So she pays back the guy and shoots him with the Uzi. But no, not really much squibs, like 1, 2 squibs. That's it. No blood, no splats, nothing. So then the lead guy tells the other guy, Larry, the one with the girl with the cast, and the girlfriend of Rip, to go stay in this barn house, so they can hold up there until the lead guy and Kelly Maroney can go get help, because he has a gun, and he has the Uzi and stuff. So they go off there, and Joe Estevez shows up there. It's supposed to be a suspenseful moment, but you don't take this guy seriously. It's an presence. It's like, once again with that, they're underneath the barn, or the place they're at. There's a snake crawling on top of one of the girls. So the other girl sees the snake, she covers her mouth to keep her from screaming. I seen that done miles better in Chopping Mall with Kelly Maroney in the little scene in the pet store where she's like this, and the spiders and the creepy crawlies and snakes are going on top of her. That's done miles better. Here they do it as fucked up though. Doesn't work basically. I mean, they don't get killed obviously. I mean, Joe Estevez doesn't hear them. He just walks away. And the guy is about to shoot Joe Estevez, but guess what, folks? He's out of fucking ammo. It's empty. You know why it's empty? Because he emptied out all his fucking ammo into the shack, in the barn where the camera and the torture chair was at. Let it go. Hey, number one. He doesn't get killed. The girls don't get killed. Then it cuts away where we got Lead guy, Steve, Kelly Maroney, they're walking in the woods. Okay, good shot, I will admit that. Where you see a harpoon coming through the water. Okay, slow motion through the water. Stabs and shoots the lead guy in the leg. And then he comes out of the water. Okay, like missing an action, but that's done miles better. But you could have used this shot in a better movie. They fires the harpoon again. Shoots the guy in the arm. So now the guy's incapacitated pretty much. He's Uzi's away from him. And the lead guy gave Kelly Maroney this stun gun. So you have a very cheesy 80s effect where he's still in the water and she takes the stun gun into the water and electrocutes the guy. Into the water. Same thing maybe with the stun gun in the water. That would be it. No, Joe Estevez has to get up. Still with the crying. And then lead guy gets up, sort of, takes what's left of his Uzi, empties it into Joe Estevez. No blood squids once again, falls into the water. Then the camera pans up, the guy falls to the ground, Kelly Maroney holding each other, pans up, and in the trees you realize there's a redneck guy with a crustache and a shotgun. About to look at them, then the movie goes to black and finishes. So fuck Zero Boys. Very disappointing movie. I haven't seen the other ones yet, like Master Blaster and Paintball, but I don't know if those are good. It's a great idea for a movie. Like, you remember that idea I told you guys about one time about the Friday 13th reboot sequel? How you have paintballers in the woods? There you go. Or something like that. Oh, hell, take an idea like this, but make your characters more likable. And put a little more thought into it, you know? And stuff. And, you know, get killers in the woods. Or, hell, you don't have to be really inbreds and all that. Hell, make it some crazy cult or something who happen to be ex-Vietnam vets or something who've gone cuckoo or something, kind of like Andrew Scott style. They've been in the bush too long and they prey on hunting teenagers and people and paintballers or whatever. You know, and you have these two, you know, these paintballing guys, Zero Boys, clash with these guys and stuff. You know, you make it R-rated, bloody, you know, throw some smart writing in there and stuff, and you get a good fucking movie. For my idea, though, for that idea. But for this one, they dropped the ball horribly. The wonder this movie's not on DVD. I mean, halfway through it, I was trying to think, okay, maybe this could be a time waster, sort of, or maybe this could be maybe a guilty pleasure, but not even that. Because the ending ruined everything, basically. And then out of nowhere, where Kelly Maroney runs in the woods, granted, she looked sexy with a green bomber jacket. That was great to see her in that. She falls down the woods, of course, like all women do. They fall in the woods. Finds, for some weird reason or another, this big fat fuck who's hung himself, I guess. So we don't know who the fuck he is supposed to be at all. They don't address him. It's just some dead fat fuck hanging in the woods. Guess he must have been the guy working on productions, but he's like, fuck this. So, Zero Boys, disappointing. It could have been an 80s horror, a little bit of action, some little funny moments, time waster, but no, it fails on all three. You know, I don't know what it is. Maybe because I just finished seeing that big blockbuster movie that had everything going for it. Maybe I was expecting too much of it, which not really. It's just, I think of like other 80s films, like Chopping Mall, which puts this fucking movie to shame. That's the real Zero Boys. That's three fucking guys. And those guys were likable. We're gonna send these fuckers Rambogram, you know? Kelly Maroney was great in that movie and stuff. Those guys were great. It's just the Zero Boys, they don't do any damn thing. Not one of them end up fucking... And plus, there's only 2 killers, really. Be interesting if you made it more interesting, like 5 killers and shit against these 3 guys. And they're always losing the game. And now this is a different game. It's not just paintball. They're fighting for their lives. Make it more interesting. I heard Master Blaster's plot regards something about a woman that's in the police force, a guy who's a martial artist, another person who I guess is a Vietnam vet, and somebody's taking the game seriously, killing somebody and stuff. Where you find out who it is. A lot of people found out in the trailer though. And I heard I had more going for it than this one. I'm not sure if it's. Paintball, I don't know about. If anyone's seen Paintball, I've heard of it, let me know. Especially you, Matt. But this movie is very... I mean, I cannot recommend this movie at all, really. Not even as an 80s cheese fest or nothing, really. Because I like 80s horror movies. I've seen better, though. Watchers is better. Hell, some of the Friday 13th, even the lesser ones, like Part 5, kicks the shit out of this movie. Or... I can't think of anything else in the woods. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 I bring up. I know Ken Ferrari survives a chainsaw hit. I know that, man. I know. But that's more watchable than this movie. I'm sorry. Really, it is. See the movie. You understand. Trust me. If you want to see out of curiosity. But I cannot recommend this film. I just thought the actors, there's no acting. There's no blood. There's no nudity. Great idea. Taking paintballers and putting them in a life and death situation. But making it more interesting. Like it would have been, instead of just 2 killers, maybe 4, maybe 5. Something like that. Made the characters more likable, that you root for them. I didn't care about these guys that much, to be honest. So maybe the actors didn't, maybe in the original script you were supposed to, but the actors didn't pull it off. So Zero Boys gets 0 out of 10, really. I'll give it maybe a 1 because of the idea, but then again, I came up with this idea way before this movie, so, I mean, my movie idea probably be better than this shit here. This movie demands a remake, but then again, I don't know, because there's Paintball. I don't know if Paintball actually is like this or worse. But these always is 3.3, ironically. It's one of those times I agree with IMDb for 3.3. And plus today, seeing the raid, seeing their mark, they give it 8.4. It deserves it. So, thank you for tuning in to this very short review. Not really that short, but kind of a rant, really, because I didn't like this movie at all. Really, 3 guys I get 2 fucks about. Kelly Maroney, her best work is Shopping Mall, and the little bit she's in Night of the Comet, okay. I always like Shopping Mall more. I mean, more, not more, more. More, more. But 0 out of 10 is the rating for this movie. And I'm gonna go take a shit. This movie gave me the shits now. Maybe it's the chocolate shit catching up with me or some chicken. Pepto-Bismol! The rant was brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. When you watch a shitty movie and you get the squirts after drinking a chocolate shit you shouldn't be drinking, Pepto-Bismol. Pour it into the cup and pour in it. Bzzz. Salut! Thank you, and by all means, have a happy Easter. Later.